Today is October the 8th, 2023. My name is Charles Suter. Today I'm presenting part 5 of my series, Mind versus Brain, with a focus on step number 3, revalue. My main message: not everything valued is valuable. Just as a review, this series is focused on a 4-step process to overcome emotional distress. And the 4 steps are: observe and relabel your emotions, explore and reframe their causes, and the causes are always irrational beliefs. Then refocus on the root cause of these emotions and consider by revaluing whether you're getting sufficient rewards by continuing to keep those irrational beliefs. And then finally, to reprogram if you decide to get rid of them. The reference source for this and earlier presentations is the book You Are Not Your Brain by Jeffrey Schwartz and Rebecca Gladding. To get rapid relief from emotional distress, you must use your mind to control the brain body, which operates according to its software programs embedded within the neurological networks. To get rapid relief from emotional distress, use your mind's power of awareness to observe and explore episodes of emotional distress, but without responding to your emotional urges. Now here's some good news. An inflamed emotion tends to de-escalate in intensity when observed with heightened awareness. Specifically, the mind can confidently overcome any episode of emotional distress caused by adversity by following the 4-step process of relabeling the emotions, reframing the cause, refocusing on rationality, and reevaluating what's important. Proposition 1. Once the source of recurring emotional distress is found, and it's always something internal related to errant beliefs, then you need to reevaluate whether you need to take action or not to change those errant beliefs. Now, exploration questions will lead to an understanding of the causes. Again, as I've already stated, the causes are normally errant beliefs and improper expectations. I'll explain what that means in a moment. Then you need to revalue the erroneous beliefs, any associated expectations that are abnormal, and the emotional consequences that they cause. During the first 3 phases, as the mind observes the operation of the brain, first it relabels the emotions it observes. Second, it reframes the triggering event to the actual cause, which is always how the brain interprets reality based on its existing software programs. And third, it refocuses away from external causes to the real cause of emotional distress, which are your irrational beliefs. Identifying specific irrational beliefs allows you to correct them at their source, which are the errant software programs, which are often called irrational beliefs. Proposition 2. As I've already said, to reduce emotional distress, you must change erroneous beliefs and ardent expectations. Irrational beliefs are erroneous. In other words, they're basically wrong. They serve no useful value because they're incorrect interpretations of reality or how life works. And your expectations sometimes are linked to a very fixation on the means rather than the ends. The reward value of old beliefs and expectations must be re-examined. That's what the revalue is all about. There are plenty of reasons to replace trouble-causing beliefs and expectations, and they all come from reframing, which is a search for what is the root cause. Many irrational beliefs are based on erroneous attachment to specific ways in which personal needs get satisfied. These erroneous attachments to specific means, rather than an attachment to the ends, produces hardened expectations that, when violated, cause unnecessary emotional distress. Some mental health experts call the improper and rigid fixation on the means rather than the ends an addiction. You don't get the means that you're addicted to, you automatically respond with emotional distress. A rational approach to satisfaction of human needs is intention, which is much more flexible and will take any means that will get you to an end, any means that's, of course, ethical and efficient, rather than expectations, which are fixated on a specific means. Now, this is an important distinction. Intentions do not cause emotional distress because the means to an end is flexible. Many ways to get from point A to point B. Whereas expectations are inflexible and demanding of a specific means. When an expectation or an expectant means gets blocked, emotional distress is the result. On the other hand, an intention seeks any ethical, workable means leading to the desired end. Rational intentions permit flexibility of means, but a commitment to the ends. On the other hand, irrational expectations and addictions are characteristic of inflexibility to both means and the ends. By finding addictions and irrational beliefs and refocusing on their root cause, which are irrational beliefs, you can get fast relief from emotional distress. Proposition 3. Now, the insights that you get from going through the 4-step process and will lead you to the root causes and gives you a reason to commit to change those beliefs that are causing emotional distress. At this point, you need to commit to change your irrational beliefs and false expectations. Otherwise, they'll continue and persist and cause more problems in the future. Continue to apply the 4-step process: relabel, reframe, refocus, and revalue. So every time you have an emotional upsetness, apply your mind to intervene. Enough interventions, and eventually you will overcome these irrational beliefs and expectations by finding a proper replacement for them. Refocusing on the internal root causes, which I've said many times now, are irrational beliefs and ardent expectations, allow you to effectively focus your efforts to change them, to get fast relief from emotional distress. With the exception of dangerous real-life threats, the key insight for controlling your upsetting emotions is 1. They're internally caused. 2. Due to defects in the brain software coding, which I have been calling irrational beliefs. And number 3, you can reprogram them. These 3 insights allow you to observe an inflamed emotion, identify the root causes, again, which is an irrational belief or ardent expectations, and then modify the beliefs. The overarching insight is that you are causing your own emotional distress, which is completely unnecessary to your success and happiness. Sometimes just getting this insight by itself is sufficient to resolve emotional distress and effecting a cure. You can keep your cool when under duress if you remind yourself with this phrase: I'm starting to feel upset because one of my irrational beliefs or expectations has just been triggered. So this is how I resolve the problem. And later, when time permits, you can reprogram new rational beliefs to permanently eliminate them. Now, my final message. When change becomes necessary, change within your inner world first. The starting point for getting rapid relief from emotional distress is to engage your mind to observe consciously and with high levels of awareness on all instances of emotional distress, and begin to apply the 4-step process to permanently eliminate the source. The source of most emotional distress is internally generated by the brain's errant software coding, known as irrational beliefs. Once the source of the problem is discovered, it can be permanently eliminated by reprogramming the irrational beliefs, which will be the topic of my next presentation. That's all for now. Remember to stay positive. You'll be happier, healthier, and live longer.